The British Empire, once called the empire on which the sun never sets. It stretched across every continent, ruling over nearly a quarter of the world's population. But with all its power, wealth, and global dominance, it did not last forever. Why? Today, we'll explore the key reasons behind the decline and fall of the British Empire. Chapter 1: The Peak of Power. At its height in the 19th and early 20th centuries, Britain controlled vast lands: India, Australia, Canada, much of Africa, and countless islands. Its navy ruled the seas, and its economy thrived on trade, industry, and colonies supplying raw materials. But the bigger the empire grew, the harder it became to manage, and this planted the seeds of its decline. Chapter 2: The Cost of World Wars. The two world wars were devastating for Britain. Yes, Britain emerged victorious, but at a huge cost. The empire poured resources, soldiers, and money into the wars. By the end of World War II, Britain was deeply in debt, its cities bombed, and its economy weakened. Meanwhile, new superpowers rose: the United States and the Soviet Union. Britain could no longer dominate the world stage alone. Chapter 3: Nationalism and Independence Movements. Across the empire, colonies began demanding independence. India, the jewel in the crown, gained freedom in 1947, sparking a wave of decolonization. African nations, the Middle East, and the Caribbean soon followed. The empire was not only expensive to maintain, but many people no longer accepted foreign rule. The push for self-determination was unstoppable. Chapter 4: Economic Strains. Maintaining colonies required enormous spending on administration, infrastructure, and military. But after the wars, Britain could barely afford to take care of its own economy, let alone faraway colonies. Meanwhile, global trade was shifting. Other nations began industrializing, and Britain's advantage faded. Simply put, the empire was no longer profitable. Chapter 5: Changing World Ideologies. The 20th century brought new ideas: democracy, freedom, and equality. The idea of one nation ruling over another seemed outdated. Even within Britain, many questioned whether the empire was morally justified. The world was moving toward cooperation, not domination, and Britain had to adapt. Chapter 6: From Empire to Commonwealth. Although the empire collapsed, Britain transformed its relationships with former colonies into the Commonwealth of Nations. This allowed cooperation, trade, and cultural ties without direct rule. The empire may have ended, but its legacy, language, institutions, and influence remains around the world today. Conclusion: so why could the British Empire not last forever? It grew too large to manage. The world wars drained its strength. Colonies fought for independence. Economic realities shifted, and new global powers emerged. The empire may be gone, but its story continues to shape our world today. It teaches us that no empire, no matter how vast, can escape the forces of change.